Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our next edition of Tiger Eye Talk. My apologies, my guest hopefully will be here with me shortly. Karen Mays is our guest today, and she is a coach. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her while I'm waiting for her to jump on. And just to introduce, I'm Lisa DeToffel, owner of Tiger Eye Solution, and this is Tiger Eye Talk. We do a once a month talk with a guest, and we talk about their business and what they do and how they help others. And like I said previously, our guest today is Karen Mays. Just to tell you a little bit about Karen, she can further introduce herself when she arrives. She is a lifetime Karen. Okay, let me start over. A lifetime of emotional eating and poor self-image brought Karen Mays to her moment of decision. Something had to be done. But what? Little did she know that she was about to stumble on something with the perfect balance of mindset training, tactical action steps, and support. She fell in love with the process and became a coach. 7 years later, Karen knows that her superpower is guiding each individual client to his or her own next step in the right direction. Because small steps is what she took to make a massive change in her life and her health. She is a health coach, and she helps each individual client. She meets them where they are and helps them move forward. Thank you, Facebook user. I think that is Karen trying to jump on. I'm so sorry, guys. Thanks, Robert, for being here and joining us. Let me help Karen get on. I will be right back. We're going to pause for just a moment and let me help our guest log in, okay? Okay, she should be here with us in just a moment. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I have a few friends joining us today. Thank you so much. If you are joining us live, please say hello. Tell us where you're coming in from. We would love to hear that. Karen will be joining me in just a few moments. And again, I'll tell you a little bit about her in case you didn't hear it the first time while we are waiting for her to jump on. Technical difficulties, it does happen, right? Sometimes tech has a mind of its own, but we're trying to work out the kinks so she can be here with us. But again, I will tell you a little bit about her, and then she can fully introduce herself when she comes on with us live, okay? A lifetime of emotional eating and poor self-image brought Karen Mays to her moment of decision. Something had to be done. But what? Little did she know that she was about to stumble on something with the perfect balance of mindset training, tactical action steps, and support. She fell in love with the process and became a coach. 7 years later, Karen knows that her superpower is guiding each individual client to his or her own next step in the right direction. Because small steps is what she took to make a massive change in her life and her health. There's Miss Karen herself. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining me.
So sorry for the delay there.
No worries. That's okay. Technical difficulties happen sometimes. That's perfectly okay. So I'm going to let you further introduce yourself. I just kind of gave your bio a little bit to everyone. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. About 7.5 years ago, I had what I call my red light, hands on the steering wheel moment. I had been going to the gym, and because that was something I felt like I could do. I had been feeling so low energy. I've been having some physical pain in my back and my knees, and just I knew I'm like, I have to do something. But you know what? I feel like I've been trying on my own to work on my weight, and I and my energy and all the things. I felt like I knew so much having worked on it. Really, I did my first diet when I was in high school, and it was so over that period of time. I'm now, at this point, over 40 years old, and 7 years ago, and I felt like I knew a lot, and yet here I was at the red light. And I'm like, I don't know what to do next. I hope I see, I literally had the thought, I hope I see a billboard of something I haven't done yet. And I can, because I'd come around to the idea that I wanted something structured. I wanted something simple. I just didn't know what it was. And then literally, I think it was days later, I don't really know, but I saw a post on Facebook of someone I hadn't connected with in over 10 years. And I thought, well, that maybe let's see. And so we had a conversation, and I decided to give it a try for 30 days. And I couldn't believe that I was able to keep going. This is over the holidays, and that I just made a decision.
It's a hard time to be doing a diet.
Yeah. But I thought, I had a little talk with myself. I was like, can you really not manage your choices over one holiday season? Are you going to be that person? And I said to myself, let's see, I'm going to give it a try. And I couldn't believe it. So I think I lost between November 9th, not that it's not all about the scale, but I was just floored that between November 9th and the end of that year, which was 2015, I was down over 30 pounds. And
awesome. Wow.
No one outside my immediate family noticed, because I had a lot of weight to lose. No one outside my immediate family noticed till I was over 50 down. But it was, but still, I felt so much better. Within days, I felt so much better. I could feel the inflammation leaving my body. So I knew that I was on to something different. I probably kept going, just thinking, because I didn't know any different from doing diets. I thought, probably stayed in that mindset for quite a while, but slowly I started, when I started to think about keeping the weight off, I started to emerge from that.
Awesome. So your transformation was, a huge thing within itself. Share with us, maybe an experience you've had with a client that you have also helped through this process.
Well, absolutely. Oh gosh. There's so many. Probably one of the most meaningful stories to me is a friend who's become a client, who we'd talked for years about him possibly becoming a client, and he wasn't ready. And finally, his wife was a really good friend of mine. I went to visit when she entered hospice care, and he said, okay, what do I need to do to lose 200 pounds? And honestly, I didn't think he was serious. And we'd already had other conversations over time. So I was like, let's do what I tell you. And he's like, okay, I'm ready.
That's awesome.
Whoa. But what really happened is that when his wife heard that he was going to do something, he's someone who has a lot of weight to lose, that her face just lit up, and she has since passed away. And he's keeping the promise that he made to her to work on his healthy habits and make this journey different. So he's down about 150 pounds at this point. He has a bit more to go. He's about 100 to go. Nice. And it just his commitment, even, through the times when it's difficult, through the times when it feels, it's challenging for, it's challenging to change your life. Let's get it real. It's not
Yes.
everybody has that much weight to lose. So that's not a requirement. But I mean, in terms of how meaningful that is to be able to take that journey, he's doing the work. But for me, just to be part of it and really walking alongside him through that is pretty amazing. And I learn a lot as he's learning through his choices and what because it really comes down to, Lisa, a lot of emotional management. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not an expert in these things, but it's so interesting how people can, through making a commitment, learn and grow through that and learn about and that's part of what happened for me too. I learned organically what was causing me, and a lot of times it was a negative emotion, to seek out comfort in food. And I will never say that I never do that anymore. That's not the case, but there's just so much more awareness around it, and I know how to I have the tools now to not just help myself, but I also have a community around me to cheer me on. So it's pretty cool.
Would it be safe to say that, as someone's going through this process, they're kind of on a journey of learning about themselves as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really, in a very big sense, what we're learning is about controlling what we control. We hear about it all the time. What I learned, I'll just speak for myself. What I learned is I was trying to control so many things that weren't actually under my control, manage other people's emotions, make them feel okay, while not being accountable to my own, whether it was stressing me out, saying yes too much, not saying yes enough, whatever the case may be, and getting burnt out. So that's something I still work on.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And so, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great avenue. I think, a lot of people, because of my personal story, who have that long-term struggle are drawn to me. I always like to mention it doesn't have to be that person who's like, this is their struggle, this is the thing for them. But it is, certainly very rewarding when that is the case for somebody, to help them walk through that. But for some people, it's more, some bad habits crept in. Of course, we all went through a global pandemic, and a lot of the external structures that kept us in line or in sort of certain routines fell away. Yeah. And so sometimes there's a change of life, maybe a phase of life. You're now an empty nester, or your job changed and it's not convenient to go to the gym anymore. Or for a lot of people, I used to be an athlete in college, and maybe there was an injury, or they became parents and there just isn't the time to devote to that. And so these things kind of accumulate over time. Yes. And so, it's so interesting to dive in and meet people where they are, wherever they are on that spectrum.
That's awesome. Awesome. So is there anything about, what your process that you use that some people may misunderstand when you first, they first start talking to you?
That's a great question. I think a lot of people, like myself, start off thinking it's another diet. It's like everything they've done. Oh, I've done things like this before. But I'm ready to try something else. And I've definitely started in that place. So what I like to do is to try to make them aware and awaken them to how, if they're open to it, how this can be different. Because we do have so many tools to help people work on their mindset. And I think if you're not working on your mindset through a weight loss journey, you're not setting yourself up well for long-term success.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah. So it's really, really important.
Awesome. So what, I guess maybe tips could you share just with our audience today about, if they're thinking of starting a weight loss journey? What's some encouraging tips, I guess you could give them?
Well, I guess my biggest encouragement is that it's absolutely possible. I was so scared when I started in 2015, I intellectually knew it was possible, I could see that other people had done it and were doing it. Sure, and no one was out there saying it's so easy, but was it possible for me? And so having that personal connection with my coach made a huge difference, because she just had this absolute confidence of course it's possible for you. And so I was able to what we call it, borrow her belief. I was like, okay, I'm just going to take the next step because she believes it. So let's see. And having that openness to that it really is possible. You don't have to know that you're gonna, I didn't start off wanting to lose over 100 pounds. I said to my coach, if I could lose about 50, I would start to recognize myself again. And so I was amazed that I was able to keep going beyond that. And it's because I started to really enjoy it. So allowing myself to enjoy it. I think that's another big tip, is be open to the possibility that you'll enjoy it. I think a lot of people go in, okay, I have to do this. It's like you're going into
get it over with.
Diving into a pile of dirty laundry. I can hold my breath long enough to do this.
Right.
But if you can open yourself to the possibility that you're going to enjoy it, that's so powerful. And I actually believe there's a version of a healthy lifestyle out there for everybody. Everybody can achieve a healthy lifestyle. It just might not look like the one you've seen on Pinterest or Facebook. It might look a little different for you.
Right. Because everybody's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're at a different stage too, when they first get started as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody has a different starting point, and you got to own your starting point. And that's another one. You brought me to another one, Lisa. Comparing it, I think there's a fine line between drawing inspiration and getting into comparison mode. So whenever possible, look to other people for inspiration, but not comparison.
That's huge.
That's
so huge.
Yeah, a lot of people compare where they are today with where I am today, which, first of all, do you really, you're seeing, no matter what, I don't have a reality TV camera crew following me around all day, thank goodness. So people probably fill in the blanks with the most positive things they can imagine, right? And so it's draw inspiration, but stay out of comparison, because I'm many chapters into my journey,
right?
And you're on day 1, chapter 1, page 1. So
yes, you got to realize exactly where your starting point. This is just your starting point. So, yeah. Awesome. So tell us, how is there a specific time frame that this journey could take? Like, if someone wanted to work with you and go through the journey of losing weight.
No, that really depends on I talk about that with somebody when we have a conversation about their specific situation.
Okay.
So somebody who wants to lose, 15 pounds it's gonna look different than someone who wants to lose 100 pounds.
Right.
So, obviously it takes longer to lose 100 pounds. No, the program takes as long as it takes. And sometimes when people have a lot of weight to lose, it's going to be a longer term thing. Sometimes they go to the halfway point and they take a break. They take a break from certain aspects of the nutrition program, but they work to still make healthy choices and not revert, hopefully, but to sort of practice keeping the weight off, and then they'll come back. And I totally support that. I think the main thing is
after they've completed,
mm-hmm.
they've lost, 15 or 25 pounds, whatever the pound weight is
mm-hmm.
that they want to lose. Do you encourage them to continue moving forward
mm-hmm.
and practice those same health?
Absolutely. Yes. When you get down to it, the program I coach, which is called Optavia, is a lifestyle and habit change program.
Awesome.
So we really focus on the lifestyle. Now, the lifestyle is not to stay in the weight loss mode for the rest of your life. So we have a weight loss phase. We have a transition phase to slowly bring people out of that, because you don't want to just stop and switch.
Right.
So we gradually, over about 4 weeks, transition out of weight loss and into healthy eating for life.
Awesome.
And so that's kind of how that works. And the idea is that you keep the habits of eating 5 to 6 times a day, fueling your body well. And then of course you got to, we don't got to, but I recommend that people do stay focused on their mindset. Surround yourself with people who support your choices as much as possible. We provide community for that. If people don't have, even if people do have it, it's helpful to hang out with people who are working on their healthy habits as well.
Yes, that would be very encouraging for sure.
Yeah.
And accountability, I assume, goes along with that as well, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, community is a source of support and a source of community. I mean, your family is a community, right? And so you can think of that as there's an element of accountability just in hanging around people who behave a certain way. When you start behaving out of that paradigm that's been set up in your home, you're going to be held accountable for that in some way. And actually, that's something in another way that sometimes when people get healthy, the people around them kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you changing?
That was my next question. How can that possibly affect a family, in a household? One person starts the journey. Does the rest of the family kind of follow and join in, with a healthy?
A lot of times, yes. It's wonderful when a married couple will start together, or sometimes like a mother-daughter or father-son. But even if that's not the case, they're creating ripples in their physical environment, the people that they hang around with. And so it's a lot of times the people around them start to make healthier choices just because it's like a gravitational pull. It's really cool.
That's so cool. So cool. So what would you recommend for people that may be interested, that's hearing what you're talking about today and may be interested in learning more?
Yeah, well, it's a really great time actually, because we have a 28-day challenge, which is really everything that we already offer with the volume turned up a few notches. So awesome. There's extra accountability, extra support, a little like everybody there's group energy focused on the challenge, which is really fun. So that kicks off on May 15th. So really now is a great time to reach out, and I can I don't know what the best way for me to get that information. I can put it in the comments on the Facebook live stream. But a DM will work, or you can text me or call me. I'll put all that information there. Awesome. And it's just a conversation. The first conversation is just about what is it you're looking to do, and it was really an exploration of whether what I do is a good fit for what you want to accomplish.
Nice. Now, what social media platforms are you on, in case someone wants to go follow you?
I'm most active on Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I'm also on Instagram as Coach Karen Mays, and I'm also you can find me on LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. So all you viewers listening to this, if you're ready to get healthy, change to a healthy lifestyle, I might actually have to talk to Karen myself.
Amazing.
But reach out to Karen May. She is awesome. And, you can even, go to look her up on Facebook. You can see her transformation journey that she took from what she used to be to where she is now. And it's amazing. I promise you, it's amazing. Yes.
Thank you, Lisa.
Goodness. Thank you, Karen, so much for being here with us today and sharing your story and about what you do, because what you do for others is amazing. I mean, again, going through a weight loss journey can be challenging for so many people. And like you said, we just went through a pandemic a couple of years ago, and a lot of things changed for everybody, really, not just some people, but for everybody, basically. And, there may have been a lot of weight gain during that time that they would love to get rid of, right?
Yes.
Or maybe different habits got formed or something during that time, while you're had to stay at home, right? And started doing things you don't normally do. So yeah, definitely reach out to Karen. If, you can't find her, just contact me and I will put you in contact with Karen for sure. But if you are looking to lose some weight or go through a weight loss journey and create a healthy lifestyle for yourself, you definitely need to talk to Karen.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate this chat and this opportunity.
Absolutely. So what is your number one takeaway, I guess, from your journey and, your clients that you work with?
Ooh, that is such a good question. I think it is the importance of an open mind, a mind geared to curiosity. That's going to
Awesome.
benefit you in so many ways, because I'm just so thankful, and I don't honestly know why I was open to this. I think not everybody has to have that rock bottom. I'm in so much angst and physical pain that I have to do something. It's for some people, they don't have to get that far, but I'm so grateful that at that time I was open to just following a simple process and not trying to overthink it. And because I'm an overthinker, I can overthink some
Yeah,
things.
some people are. I'm one of those too.
Yeah. And then through that, as I've learned more about personal development, like curiosity is such an amazing trait. I don't know if I want to call it a trait, but something, and
It can be a trait.
a muscle that you can build.
Yes.
Rather than thinking I've done this before, I know what happens. This is what's going to happen, and there's nothing new under the sun. I was just so open to moving forward. So I think that's a huge thing to do.
And you've seen that same thing with your clients.
Absolutely. Sometimes even I'll say it in the same client. Maybe they come on and they don't have that mindset, and then they go do some things in their life, and they come back 6 months or a year later and say, I want to do it different. I'm ready this time to do it differently. And it's a completely different experience for them and for me, as their coach. It's like you can shine the light into places that just weren't available.
Awesome. That is so awesome. Okay, guys, if y'all want to change your health and start living a healthy lifestyle or lose some weight, all that kind of goes together, then you definitely want to talk to Coach Karen. That's what we'll call you, Coach Karen. Awesome. Thank you again so much, Karen, for being with us here today. And I enjoyed you sharing your tips and information about what you do and how you help others with their goals. I mean, they come to you with, weight loss goals or lifestyle goals, and you help them to accomplish those goals. So great. If anyone has any questions, you can post them in the comments below. Thank you for those that have joined us here live. I know Robert Jordan's here with us today, and there may be one or two other people. I don't know your names. It doesn't tell me your name. But thank you for joining us. And if you're watching this later on the replay, go ahead and use #replay. Or if you're watching it on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be notified every time we go live. Thank you again, Coach Karen. And I hope some of you will reach out to our channel. You'll be notified every time we go live and learn, have a conversation and see how she can help you.
Thank you.
Till next time. Thanks, guys.